Tired? You hot? No. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Warren Bennett. You know who that is down there. And in this video, I'm going to talk about Clubface Stability. Because what you're trying to do in golf, you're trying to get this club back to the ball with a bit of speed and control. And how can you do that? As we know, not very easy, because you're dealing with a part of the swing that you can't feel, and it's happening very quickly. Honestly. Ooh, nearly took the camera out. So as you know, we're dealing with a part of the swing that's very quick and you can't feel it. So what you've got to try and do, you've got to try and get yourself in position so club-face stability and control happens for you. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So I'm going to get the front camera set up, just kind of chill, trev out a little bit, and we'll see you in a little while. Okay everyone, club-face stability. Now, I would say every video is worth watching, but this one especially is going to be more for the elite golfer. Now I would say club-face stability is someone who has overactive hands. So if you're a hooker of the ball or someone who has a little bit more draw spin that they'd like, this is going to be a good video for you. Obviously I'd love everyone to watch it. If you're a slicer of the ball, you're looking for a little bit more independence of the hands and arms. Obviously there is still stability and control there, but your feeling mainly is to kind of be a little bit more passive with the top half of your body and be a bit more active down at the bottom with your hands and arms. So I would say this is probably more geared towards the person that kind of the elite golfer who's more of the hooker of the ball. I can't go full revs, my hand is really hurting at the moment. So stability. Now if you've looked at previous videos, you'd say the steering wheel of the golf swing is always your torso, I would say. It's how you rotate your torso through the impact zone is going to be governed by how much control you've got with your hands and arms. Like I said with the slicer of the ball, what you're looking for a little bit more independence of your hands and arms to be able to kind of turn this club face over a little bit to give you that draw. But someone who's a bit overactive with the draw and the hook, you're looking for a little bit more stability and passiveness of your hands and arms. So I'm going to tell you what that means and give you a little bit more detail. Let me just hit one more just to try and get this hand a little bit more kind of less painful. Right, okay, so give you my thoughts on club-face stability and a little few exercises to do. Now, if you've got an underactive top half, something's going to hit the ball, and that's probably going to be hands, arms, rotation. There's going to be too much roll of the club face. To me, that isn't stability, that's overactive hand and arm swing. Like I said, you slicers, you don't need that, you're looking for that. But you hookers of the ball and more of elite golfers, you're looking for a combination of your body rotation, arm and hand release, and then the passiveness on the way through. So you can see from the front view there, if I just, make sure I don't hit Trev, if I just slow this down and stop halfway through, you're looking for that big rotation of the shoulders. You can see people who hook it have an independent hand and arm motion because generally their top half is a bit too passive and something's got to take over. So you can see there, someone who's a hooker of the ball, if I tried to hook this one halfway through, it's going to look a little bit more like this. So you can see the difference of the two there. So what you're trying to do, you're trying to kind of blend your body and arm swing together. You're trying to keep it all in one. It won't be. Obviously the speed that this club and hands are going, it's always going to be a little bit more kind of independence of the hands and arms. But what you're really looking for, you're looking for rotation of the body, arm and hand to go along with you, and then the club face can be passive on the way through. Feeling anyway. Nice and wide at the top of the backswing. Why? Because it gives you the ability to drop down, touch your arm, my right elbow I mean, is touching my body. Now from here the feeling is my right elbow does not leave my side. You won't be able to do that under full speed, but the feeling is you want the elbow to touch your sides. Now this stability of this right arm is now your club face, because if you move your body and the elbow is going with you, the club face is now going with you along for the ride. Obviously there's a little bit of kind of letting go of the angle, a little bit of that wrist, but you're just trying to keep that elbow at the same place halfway down to halfway through. So it's a great little net exercise, practice swinging air balls, just to warm up, bang, little rotation. It's not a distance exercise, look how short I'm doing. But you can see there, the front view, my shoulders have fully turned, fully rotated, fully pivoted 90 degrees. I'm off for the right side, and the behind view, you can see my club face is still out in front of me. It's massively exaggerated. I've still got that right wrist angle, you can see there between my right forearm and the club shaft. That is extreme stability. That's too much. You won't be able to do it under full speed, but we're kind of bringing it back to the start and we're building up to speed, and then we'll hit some full shots in a minute. Okay, same again, we can build that up. So drill number one is stopping halfway down, little pump, and then rotate, full rotation. So you're not rotating from the top, you're allowing this club to drop in the slot, allowing your arms to drop in the slot. But from here, you're just now full rotation. I've got weight going back on my left side, into my left heel, club face still out in front of me. I'm not swinging up here, it's just a short little swing. I'm doing this with a 7 iron. I wouldn't do it any more than that, 9 iron, just to give yourself a bit of loft. And it's not a distance exercise, so important. Okay, one more that, we'll take it through to the next stage. Drop in the slot, my right elbow's touching my body. Tiny little pumps, I can see the club head behind me, so I'm not over here. Keeping it back on plane, and then keeping everything I've got and turning through. There we go, you can see my right shoulder's into my chin. I haven't really looked up yet. Big rotation, full maximum rotation. The club's only out in front of me here, which is opposite to someone who hooks it, where their arrow, they haven't turned and the club's gone a long way and the body hasn't. So we're kind of reversing how you pivot and how you release your body. So you're doing the opposite. Okay, so the next stage is to obviously not stop. So we're going to just carry on, going to keep the same pace. Full rotation, look at that, massive. If you can do this right, you are really on your way to kind of really feeling some kind of blend all the way through between your body, your legs, your arms, hands and club face. Because now, from that halfway back position, go back to that first exercise, whatever my trunk does, the club face is doing. So there's nothing's going at different speeds. Beautiful. And then let's just speed that up. So let's go kind of 2 out of 10 in terms of speed. Beautiful. Looks easy to do. It's not easy to do at all. But you can see on that follow through, my right elbow is still into my side. I haven't let that go yet. You can do little practice swings if you want, and just keep it. You don't even need a ball. Keep that elbow into that side. Away, not at the top of the backswing. Keep it away, nice and wide. So then it drops into the slot, and then you have connection halfway down and then through the impact zone. That's how you get stability. You don't get connection at the top of the backswing. A while ago I've been asked the question, is the towel under the armpit exercise a good one? Well, it is if you're only swinging halfway back. But I like to have my arms wide and away from me at the top of the backswing so they can drop down in the slot here, and that's where you need the connection. Connected all the way through the hitting zone. And you can just practice that little exercise. You can see now my ever expanding belly is turning through, keeping the angle of that wrist, which you can see. And we'll speed that up. Let's do 4 out of 10 speed. It's not a distance exercise, it's mechanics and club face stability. Beautiful. Nice and light, not gripping it too hard. Nice and wide, and twisting, nice and wide. Let it drop in the slot. It's about a 6 out of 10. And go to your maximum distance you can do whilst keeping good form. So important to keep good form. Let's speed this up. This can go to probably an 8. It's probably as far as I can probably go without swinging it too long. There we go. You can see there, still got my right elbow into my side. Full control, full club face stability. Now let's take this on to a full shot. Okay, with a full shot, you're probably not going to be able to do that unless you practice and practice, and it takes a long time to get that. But you only want an element of it. You don't actually have to do it as extreme as what I just did there. It's probably a good pitching feel. So you could probably do it with pitching in terms of like a 50, 60 yarder, that horrible little distance. Having Having arms and hands and body turning together and swinging together, it's going to give you a bit more of a consistent strike. What you don't want to do with a pitch is sit back and flick it. So you want to keep moving. So it's a great little pitch thought. You can kind of do it a little bit more, you know, with pitching. So if you ever want to try and hit shots straight away, do it with the pitching. But with a full shot, let's say anything you're hitting full out with a, you know, I don't know, mid-iron upwards, going to be really difficult because the forces and the speed of that club getting pulled is always going to let your arms get thrown down the line. And that's okay, because you're only looking for an element of this. You don't actually have to do it as extreme as the actual exercise, but it's just a feeling. You're feeling like the club and your arms are going to be dropping into the slot, and then you're going to feel that right arm touching you, and you're just going to feel this rotation. You know, I'll show you a swing here, and I'll show you a side by side of the exercise and the actual swing, and you're going to see my swing. There's going to be an element of release, and my hands and arms are going to be working a little bit too independently with my body compared to the drill anyway. Okay, so let's give it a go. Up, drop in the slot, turn. Big turn through the ball, and the club's only just out in front of me, nice and short. Okay, but I'm going to swing all the way through and I'm going to let it go. Okay, let's see what that looks like in kind of drill versus reel. And you can see there's always going to be an element of that, like I said about the arms and hands being a bit independent of the body. You only need an element of it, because to stop that hook, you've got to try and stop your hands and arms working too much. And the only way to do that is to get your pivot, get your torso rotation. Clubface stability. And then you can just go back to that drill. Number one, drop in the slot, tiny pump. Beautiful. As much as you can. Big time rotation, everyone. Get your shoulders working from that halfway down position. Get your belly button. Get off your right side, because I'm still down on the ground here. But get off your right side as much as you can. Beautiful. Look at that. Shoulder into my chin. Still looking down. Still got that angle. Fantastic. Then number two drill is not stopping. And you can change that up in terms of speed. Go for a bit quicker. Don't go quicker if you can't do the shorter ones. And the slower ones, I mean, look at that, fully off my right side, full release of the body. Look how open my body is compared to where my club face is. Club face is still looking down the line. Remember, this is good for you hookers of the ball. If you're slicing, you need that independence. Good to watch though, if you can. And then from there, you're kind of just feeling the rotation of your body and just trusting that your arms won't flick over. I always think a secondary thought is always quite good, just to kind of give yourself a bit of a safety net. If you're rotating and the ball's starting a little bit straighter compared to where it used to start, let's say up the right and hooking, but it's still got a little bit overdraw in it, I would say a secondary thought is always just trying to feel like your right hand's a little bit more under your left there, you can see. What you don't want to do, because remember, if you're used to starting the ball to the right and rolling over, you've probably still got a little bit of this rollover by your rotation. So it's going to start straighter, but it's then going to draw from there. So what you want to try and do to either put some little bit of fade on it is you want to try and keep the club face open, or a little bit squarer we call it, and the only way to do that is feel your right hand a little bit under your left. So you're still turning through, but you're feeling your right hand. You can see there in the drill, I'll slow it down in one of the hits. You can see there the club face, and my right hand is under my left, whatever my right hand does. So if my right hand's palm looking up, the club face is looking up, you can see from the behind view there. What you don't want to do is that. So you might be rotating better, but you might just be turning over those hands. So it's a good little safety net as well. Remember, the ball's the best teacher. It's going to tell you whatever you need to know. So starting line's always going to be about how you're pivoting. Spin in the air is always going to be about hands, probably. So remember, everyone, the channel's here to help every golfer. And I would say the majority of the videos, if you've seen them on the channel, will help people who slice the ball. But this is one that helps people to stop hooking it, especially the elite golfer as well. But this rotation feeling of the elbow stuck into your side along for the ride and get some rotation is a great pitching thought for everyone. You know that horrible little distance of 50, 60 yards where it's not quite a full swing? This is a brilliant little exercise to do. It's getting your elbow into your side and feeling the turn through. Okay everyone, so thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate all your support. And if you haven't been here before, and if you like the look of the channel, or you like the look of the video, and I'd love to have you along as a subscriber, because joining the little community here is great, and we're all in it together. Golf's really hard, but it's me trying to give you the advice, trying to give you the kind of the knowledge about the golf swing, what the golf ball does, and more importantly, your swing as well. So any questions you've got, I'd love to hear from you. I'll do my best to comment. I'll try and get back to everyone. So from myself and a very sleepy Trev in the corner in the sunshine, don't blame him, I will see you on the next one. Have a great golfing week, everyone. Stay healthy on and off the golf course, and we'll see you next time. Cheerio. Oh, great. Sun's coming out.